Hi guys, welcome back to another video with Pratham Test Prep. This is your host Sanjeev Bhatia again, and we are back with a new video on your legal Darpan, that is your weekly legal current affairs that we discuss. So this is the episode 2. So here I will be covering all the legal news that have happened in the month of September, and so that you can get a fair idea that what are the things that were covered, and you can also take a deeper look in them. If you are a student of Pratham Test Prep, you will find those news in your legal compendiums that you have been provided from time to time on monthly basis. So do make sure that you are looking at those legal compendiums and also reading these newses into a lot of detail, right? So the exam is happening on 18th of December. So I hope everybody is preparing in that manner itself. Now, if you are new to the channel, please don't forget to hit on the like, share, and subscribe button, and also hit on the bell icon for those regular updates. And also, if you are not a part of our Telegram channel, do make sure that you are subscribing to our Telegram channel, because there are articles and news updates that we go ahead for your law entrance exams. Now, coming to the first news for the day, that senior advocate R. Venkataramani has been named as the new Attorney General of India, and this has been appointed by the President. As you know that the Attorney General is always appointed by the President of the country. So he has been appointed for a period of 3 years from 1st of October. Now, the next is that the notification regarding Mr. Venkataramani's appointment as an Attorney General was issued on September of somewhere around 18th, and also the Department of Legal Affairs, Union Ministry of Law and Justice, Mr. Venkataramani will replace the Attorney General, Mr. K.K. Venugopal, whose term ends on September 30th. So you can see that there is a new Attorney General of India who's been appointed, and he has taken his position right now in the office, and it's been 7 days that he is in the office right now. So coming to the next part is that Government of India has appointed Lieutenant General Anil Chauhan as the new Chief of Defence Staff. So this has been announced that the appointment of Lieutenant General after the next as the next Chief of Defence Staff, and also functioning as Secretary to a Government of India Department of Military Affairs. Now the NDMA alumni, that is National Defence Academy, became the General Officer Commanding in Chief of Eastern Command in September of 2019, and held the charge until his retirement from the service on May of 31st of 2021. Now he has held several appointments and has extensive experience in counterinsurgencies and also operations in Jammu and Kashmir and the northeast of the country. Now coming to the next news, that Supreme Court Judge, that is Honorable Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, has been named as the Chairman of NALSA. Now what is happening is that he's been the next executive person of the National Legal Services Authority. Now the post was previously held by Chief Justice of India, that is Mr. U.U. Lalit, and also President Draupadi Murmu has been appointed Justice D.Y. Chandrachud as the Executive Chairman of NALSA itself. Now being elevated as the Judge of the Supreme Court, Justice Chandrachud has served as the Chief Justice of Allahabad High Court also, and prior to that the Judge of the Bombay High Court too. Now coming to the next part is that about NALSA, what can you understand, that 1987 was the year that the Act was established, and NALSA was constituted under the Legal Services Authorities Act of 1987. Now to provide a free legal service to weaker sections of the society, and its purpose was to provide free legal services to eligible candidates, and to also organize lok adalats for speedy resolution of cases too. Now, if you see, the next point is that patron, that is, while the CJI is the patron in chief, the second most senior judge of the Supreme Court of India is the executive chairperson of the authority. So D.Y. Chandrachud is the second highest judge of the Supreme Court itself. Now, there is a provision for similar mechanism at the state and the district level also, that are headed by the Chief Justices of the High Court and the Chief Justices of the District Courts respectively. The prime objective is to provide justice, speedy disposal of cases, and reducing the burden of the judiciary. Now coming to the next news for the day, that is the draft Indian Telecommunication Bill of 2022. So if you see that draft communication bill, you will find that it was unveiled by the Department of Telecommunication for the stakeholders' comments. The draft bill is to be consolidated and make changes to the existing laws so that telecom networks and infrastructure in India can be controlled very well. Now it merges three acts that are Indian Telegraph Act of 1885, Indian Wireless Telegraphy Act of 1933, and Telegraph Wires Unlawful Protection Act of 1950. Now the draft bill proposed to include OTT platforms also, like WhatsApp, Telegram, and other services that are there, and also that will incur a high cost for these OTT platforms, which are right now very free. Okay. Now the draft bill also amends the TRAI's functions to just being recommendatory body. Currently, the telecom department is mandated to seek TRAI's recommendation before issuing a license to a service provider. Now, the bill also removes legal provisions requiring TRAI to request the government to provide necessary information to make these recommendations. Now, coming to the next part, that there's a case that has happened recently, that is Anju Garg versus Deepak Kumar Garg. Now, what was being said in this case was that able-bodied husband should earn by legitimate means and also maintain his wife and minor child. That's what the Supreme Court has said. Now, the husband is required to earn money by physical labor if he is an able-bodied and could not avoid his obligation except on a legally permissible grounds that are mentioned in the statute. Now, the court also made an observation that the family court in the said case has conducted the proceedings without being alive to the object and the reason and the spirit of the provisions of section 125 of the code. Such an impression has also been gathered by this court in the case in hand. As settled by the court, section 125 of the CRPC is a measure of social justice and specially enacted to protect women and children of the society. Right? So that's what was being said in the case of Anju Garg versus Deepak Kumar Garg. Now, coming to the next part is the case of K. Madan Mohan Rao versus Bhimrao Patil. Now, the parties to litigation cannot expect to wait indefinitely for a reasoned order. Right? That's what the Supreme Court has said. So what do you mean by that? Is that on Monday, on which the case was passed off, disapproved of an order passed by the Telangana High Court in the June after noticing that it was still not available with the parties or uploaded on the High Court website. Okay? There was an order that was passed, but it is not available on the website. Now, the bench of Justice Dinesh Maheshwari and Bela M. Trivedi noted that unsavory situation in the deciding application before it and set aside the order. Now, we are constrained to observe that the party to the litigation cannot expect to wait indefinitely for availability of the reasons for the order of the court. Moreover, when the matter relates to the election petition under Act of 1951, which itself is time-sensitive matter, we find no reason that the appellant be relegated to the statutory remedy of appeal under Section 116A of the Act of 1951 in this case. Right? So they have said that they cannot wait indefinitely for a reasoned order. They should entertain such scenarios when the matter is such time sensitive. Okay, while making it clear that it was not expressing any opinions on the merits of the case, the bench directed that the matter to be placed for necessary orders and assignment before the Chief Justice of the High Court. Okay, coming to the next part is that Committee for Pharma Marketing Practice. So if you have seen that the pharmaceutical products, when they are sold to the doctors and they sell it ahead to the customers, that is where there is a high-level committee that is being set up to regulate the promotion of pharmaceutical products. Now, the government has put up a 5-member committee chaired by Dr. V.K. Paul, Niti Aayog member, to create legal mechanism to address the issue of pharmaceutical companies. Now, coming to the next part, that the members of this committee include Department of Pharmaceuticals S. Aparna, Union Health Secretary Mr. Rajesh Bhushan, and the Central Board of Direct Taxes Chairman Nitin Gupta. So all of these people will take care of marketing practices that are being taken by pharmaceutical companies to sell their products. Now, the joint secretary from the Department of Pharmaceuticals is the member secretary of this committee also. Now, ECI seeks restrictions on cash donations to the political parties. So we have seen that there are donations that have been done to the political parties. So the Chief Election Commissioner has written the Union Law Ministry to limit anonymous political donations. He has provided several recommendations: reduce election funding via black money. Now, disclose donations above rupees 2,000. Under the current rules, political parties are required to disclose all donations above 2,000, 20,000 through their contribution report. Now, the EC recommends disclosure of all the documents and all the donations that come above rupees 2,000, right? So that's how they are putting restrictions on these political parties itself. Now, coming to the next case is that Indian government to set up a panel to study the status of SC converts to Islam and Christianity, right? So that's a deep study that they will get into. So they will constitute a national commission to study the socio-economic and educational status of the SC/STs and Buddhism and Sikhism in the country. And also there are several petitions that are currently pending before the Supreme Court seeking reservations benefits for Dalits who have converted to Christianity or Islam. Okay. Now, the Constitution Schedule Caste Order of 1950, order under Article 341, states that no individual belonging to religion other than Hinduism, Sikhism, or Buddhism can be recognized as a member of the scheduled caste. So there has to be a panel that has to be set up because there were a lot of conversions that have happened during the period of time. So they want to check that, and that's why they want to check what is their eligibility in the entire reservation process also. So that is why there is a panel that is being set up to study the status of these converts. Now, the original order classified Supreme Court members belonging to only Hinduism. It was later amended in 1956, which made to include Sikhs also in it, and in 1990 to include Buddhists too to this list. Now, the proposed commission would have 3 to 4 members, being a union cabinet minister. It will involve comprehensive analysis in the changes in the status and the situation. Also study impacts of adding more members into the current scheduled caste list. Okay. Now, it was not included members of STs and OBCs who have converted to Islam and Christianity. Right? OBCs will not be included in this list. Now, this is because STs receive benefits regardless of their religions, and several Christian and Muslim communities are already benefited and also a part of the central and state list of these OBCs, right? So STs are currently given 15% reservation for direct recruitment in central government jobs. So it's all about reservation in the end of the day. So they need to decide that are these people marginalized or they've gotten their respective amount of resources to grow as individuals. So what is the current status of these people who have been converted, and should there be reservations given to them or not? Now, last news for the day is that there is a committee to draft the National Cooperation Policy. There is a 47-member committee that will be headed by former Union Minister Suresh Prabhu and also includes experts from cooperative sectors. Now, this is a policy that is being prepared for government's vision of Sehkar se Prosperity. Okay? So now this is the current national policy on cooperation was formulated in 2002. So it's been long that it has been amended or new policies have been brought in. So it's time for them to draft a national cooperation policy again. Now the cooperation policy is being prepared with a view to fulfill mandate given to the new Ministry of Cooperation, which includes strengthening cooperative movement in the country, deepening its reach to the grassroots level, and also promoting cooperative-based economic development models. Right? Cooperative banks, cooperative groups, these are all will be included in these policies. Right? So this is it for today, guys. I hope you were able to get some news that were due for the month of September. So do make sure that you are hitting on the like button, and also don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, and do make sure that you are visiting us on every Friday for the legal Darpan session and also other interesting sessions on law and management and other courses that are available under the ambit. So thank you for joining this live session. Do take care of yourself and have a nice day.